Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday. It is Champion Monday. I wanted to come on just to encourage some of you in this season that we're in. We're definitely coming out of the pandemic. Certain states and stuff are opening, certain things are opening. But I want to say to you, because I have said to my church, this is the month of March and we're going to do some great things. This is our G month. This is our G to the fifth power month. This is our 5G month. And so we're going to grow exponentially. We are going to grow in grace and abundance and just so many different things that the Lord was saying to me. But I wanted to get on here to say to you, to encourage some of you that when while we're coming out of this pandemic and when we come out of this pandemic, two things that you have to do, that you must do in order to be successful in this next season of our lives, because we're also coming into the second quarter of the year. So March will end the first quarter and then we're going into the second quarter. So there's some things that you should have accomplished in this first quarter of the year. And our 100-day mark, 100 days of 2021 is coming up. And I think that's in April or something. But that will take us into our next quarter of the year, which will be April, May, June. So you got January, February, March is our first quarter. April, May, June is the second quarter. So you should have quarterly things or quarterly goals that you are trying to achieve and trying to do. So I hope that you achieve some goals within the first quarter that you wanted to do, or within the first 100 days of the year that you are trying to do. And so with that being said, two things that you must do in coming out of this pandemic is that, and it's a part of our 5G month for Empowerment Church, for our church. And so I want to share it with you, is that one, you must make great decisions. You got to make great decisions coming out of this. I know last year, a couple of years, 2019, 2018, 2017, we probably didn't make the best of decisions. And some of you probably made some good decisions in some great places, which was great. But I want to say to you all that said that I didn't make good decisions and now I'm paying for it. Going forward, just make great decisions. Think about decisions that you make and don't make them out of emotions. Don't make them because you are afraid or because you're fearful. Don't make them in a rush of a moment. I tell people all the time, when you have to make a decision, try and take a nap. Go to sleep on it. Give it a couple of hours. Don't make a rush decision, because that decision that you make is going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's going to have a domino effect on something else that you do, on whether it's on your finances, whether it's on your home, your house, your marriage, your children, your relationships. It's going to have a domino effect. So you want to make great decisions. That's one of the things that I told my people, is that we're going to make great decisions in this season of our lives. And so we have to learn wisdom, and wisdom is not a gift. It's a skill, and you can learn wisdom if you stop and pay attention. So a lot of times great decisions come because we stop, we stand back, we pay attention, we take a breather, we take a load off for a little bit and just make a great decision about your life, about yourself financially, about your family, which way to go. And that great decision might not feel good at the moment. It just might not feel good at the moment, but in the long run, it'll make more sense. So in this season, make great decisions. I hear a lot of people talking about, how you should spend your stimulus check and different things like that. Take that advice. Take that advice and don't do something out of emotions or out of fear or just at the spur of the moment. Don't do things because it's going to make you feel good at that moment, because it weighs a cost for you down the line. It's going to cost you something down the line. So that's number one, is to make great decisions. That's a part of our 5G month, is to make great decisions. The second thing is that I'm going to share with you is governing properly. Governing properly. It's called our GP plan. It's called my GP plan. And so I'm going to write about it some more, but you have to govern properly. But governing properly comes from you making great decisions. So you have to, and I'm going to take it even further. So let me just start with that. Making great decisions allows you to govern properly. It allows you to govern some things properly. It allows you to govern your future that you don't even know anything about properly. But you also have to govern your emotions properly, govern your spending properly, govern your vision and your sight. And a lot of times we don't govern our thoughts and our imaginations or the things that we think properly. You have to govern those things properly. One of the things that I say to people when I am coaching them is that if you can control your vision, then you can control, watch this, if you can control your vision, then you can control the imagination of things. And so when you can control the vision of how you want to see something, you can control the imagination of it, of it coming to pass. So a lot of times we don't govern our thinking, we don't govern our thoughts, we don't govern our vision, we don't govern our imagination because we're letting our thoughts run wild. Take control of your thoughts. Take control of what you think about on a daily basis. Take control over what you have a conversation with somebody about. Because if you think about it, when you're having a conversation with someone and they're telling you a story or they're telling you something about their lives, you can vividly see it. You can vividly see it. If you, girl, let me tell you what happened. I put this on, or dude, let me tell you what. You can vividly see it, and your imagination and your mind goes to try to recall or rethink or put that thing together as they tell you about it, which becomes, watch this, which becomes a vision. So then you begin to see it. So let me put it to you this way. That'll make it really plain and really simple. Do not judge someone by someone else's experience with that person. So do not dislike a person because someone else dislikes them, because you might miss out on something good. So here it is. So someone tells you, they mention a name, boom, you have that person of who they are in your mind. It could be, let's say they talking about Sally. It could be a whole bunch of Sallys, but then when they tell you, remember Sally that was out there, that was there at that event and blah, 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 we saw, oh, that's Sally. Okay, so now you have a vision. Now you have a vision of who that person is. Now you have a vision of who Sally is. Then what they begin to tell you about Sally, well, Sally did this and Sally did that. And I don't, Sally just got a bad attitude, rude. You begin to imagine, watch that. You begin to imagine that within Sally. And then all of a sudden you say, you know what? I remember they did do blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, she rude. She got a bad attitude. Man, he rude. He got a bad attitude. Then all of a sudden, boom, you have an image of what that person is, although that was not the previous image of what that person was to you before. So if you can control your thoughts, if you can control the vision, then you control the imagination, the image of something. So when you allow someone to talk about someone in your presence that was in a negative way, you allowed them to control your vision of how you seen that person. Can I just explain that to you one more time? You allowed them to control your vision of how you see that person, and then it reimagined them. It gave you another image of them, and now that's how you're seeing them. So again, and I hope that I hope that made sense. I hope you understand that. So if you can control your vision, and the way you control your vision is you control it by, I'm not going to be fearful of this thing. I'm not going to be fearful of that. I'm not going to play the victim. I'm not going to rehearse negative things in my mind. I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow people to put negative things in my spirit. Then you can control your image, your imagination. You can control it. Then you can go bigger. You can go greater. You can go wider. You can do so many different things because you're no longer allowing something else or allowing the negative parts to control your vision of how you see something. If your vision is not there, you cannot imagine it. If you cannot vividly try to vision something, and then all of a sudden when you vision it, you can imagine it, then you can put it together. Then you can say, okay, God, I got it. I can put it together. Your imagination is so key because it's an image that you put on the inside of you of how you want to re-image yourself, how you want to see yourself, what you want to do. So those kind of things. I didn't get on here to be this long, but I wanted to come on and just kind of give you those things. So govern your thoughts properly. Govern yourself properly. Govern your finances properly. Govern those things properly because it's, again, going to pay a cost down the end of the road. So one, make great decisions. And two, govern yourself properly because it's going to pay off for you in the long run. I promise you. So I hope this helped you. I hope these words of encouragement really, really helped you today. I pray that it did. If so, please like and share and let somebody know that this will help them. So I plan to do something really special with this in the near future. I think it's going to be great. So I love you guys. Happy Champion Monday. I want to see you guys all grow and do well and be successful in your life and what God has called you to do. So do me a favor. Please like and share comments and let me know whether this video helped you or not. And I'll talk to you soon. This is Pastor Bessie. I'm signing out.